For the third day straight, we're doing this again for the second time. So welcome to Dimension X. You already know what it is. Today we're gonna be talking about relationships, watching videos, just garnering different perspectives and seeing what we can create out of it. So and I have a mint in my mouth, so don't trip. All right, so here we go. Let's just get to it. Now I should be able to hear the sound. Last time it gave me issues. I'm not expecting for that to happen now.
Lose yourself in a you can't lose yourself in a relationship because you're going to miss you. You at one point in time you're gonna go, wow, what happened to me? Sometimes you just need to be by yourself to collect your thoughts. It's an overwhelming thing, especially if the other person is making you feel responsible for their happiness. That's a toxic relationship. If you have to be responsible for somebody else's happiness. You can't lose yourself
That's a big one.
in a relationship.
That's a big one. Let me see if we can find some other ones to cook.
Women think that if I do it more for him, listen, like that, if I pick up his kids, if I give him as much sex as he wants, if I turn him out, if I show him I'm that ride or die chick, I'm that chick, right? Then the more I do, they think that I'm going to get his affection. But that ain't how men operate. And y'all can tell me this. Watch this. A man doesn't commit to the woman for what she does for him. He commits to her based on who she is to him. Now watch this. If I look at that same woman and I look at a woman who nurtures me, empowers me, helps me to grow, supports me, all of a sudden the way I look at her brand becomes different. So I put her in a different category. Women think that if I do it more for him, listen, like that, if I pick up his kids, if I give him his...
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Okay. Let them cook before I start talking. Here's some different perspectives.
But healthy relationships be boring as sometimes. Like when you really start to find your, like I'm saying this as fresh in the 30s. I got a new appreciation for boring, my right. I got a whole new appreciation for not just being able to sit the down with me and mine and not have nothing, ain't on fire, don't nobody need me to leave the house, I'm good. So while you young, yeah, it seemed like you want exciting every day, but I'm a caution you, because thing too, like the caution, when you always looking for excitement from your relationship, you're gonna start expecting the person across from you to perform for your entertainment. You feel me? And that's not nobody's job, bruh.
Yes, it is. Like tap dance.
Like if y'all want to add new layers to y'all relationship because the old shit ain't working, you need to figure out ways to become a new person. You know what I'm saying? Do some new in your own life so your partner got some new to learn, and let them do some new in their own life so you got some.
Exactly. Another one too, success. Anything that is anything that works, at some point it's going to get repetitive and it may not be as exciting, but it all depends on what you're focusing on. See, I look forward to peace of mind. For me, it's not about being able to buy the Mercedes or having the Mercedes or having the whatever vehicle or house or lifestyle. It's more so I have the peace of mind knowing that I can. If I want to, I can. I don't have to impress nobody because I already got who I want. So family growing. So like I'm not out there trying to impress nobody. But if you are impressed by what I'm doing, that's just the effects of being consistent and disciplined and determined, motivated, whatever the hell you want to say. Even though motivation can die out. So I have purpose, and consistency is not exciting. You're consistent, but what it nets you in the long run, just like being an investor in the for the long term, a long-term investor. I'm looking forward to this trend that I think is going to play out to happen. The dollar forever goes down. I need to be in another asset class that trends up versus the dollar. So no, I agree with that. 100%. I agree with that. Did I click on the same thing? Yeah. Let's see.
6 signs that you are not ready for a relationship. Okay? Let me give them to you. Number 1, you care more about finding the right partner than becoming or being the right partner.
Exactly.
Ooh, coach. Number 2, you are still discovering who you are.
Hmm.
You're wanting to be in union with somebody, but you have evolved. Many of us are 40, 50 years old, and you don't know who you are at this point. You know who you were at 20, but you never discovered. You never done self-exploration about who you are now. All right. Number 3, you want someone to help you feel better about you. But that's an internal job. That's something you've got to work on. Number 4, you want to save someone. There's a need in you to save someone, and you got to deal with that part first. Number 5, you have a hard time apologizing. And number 6, you are emotionally closed.
I'm gonna give y'all some game when it comes to being somebody who struggles with apologizing for whatever. You have to more so stop caring about the appearance. I've recognized that a lot of people care more so about their appearance, but they're lacking any substance within themselves. So, yeah, you may be fly, you may look good, people may have a certain opinion about you based on how you carry yourself. But see what happens when you can't maintain that, because there's other factors that you don't know about destroying how you keep up your appearance, meaning that you're really at the behest or really at the control of somebody else, because there's some factors that you don't understand. And that's why I always talk about the commerce game. You're playing a commerce game. And a lot of what you're able to do and what you're not able to do is based upon the amount of money that you hold. Now, as a child, you never thought something as that could, something of that magnitude can exist because your folks never probably put you up on game. But as you get older, you just kept hearing them say, you got the money for it, 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 but do some chores, but to find a way to make some money. And now you're at this age of wherever you may be at, stuck at the commerce game because you don't understand it. But you also can't slow it down, because if so, you may lose whatever you're appreciating at this point, whatever you have at this point. So you got to keep clocking in 9 to 5. So it's not about the appearance, but at the appearance level, so many people are not willing to apologize, even though you're really doing it for you. Because I'm be real, like once you start, getting into your groove, getting into whatever it is that fulfills you, people are going to look at you crazy. The same people that you told that you, hey, like for an example, as I said in my last video, I'm like, yeah, man, crypto is going to be what I use as boom, boom, boom. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yo, inflation's getting bad. Oh, all right, all right, all right. Now let's look at what's going on. It's, oh, that nigga was correct. Damn, how the fuck he see that? It's a game. And even when it comes to relationships, it's a game that you're playing. You think that you're playing the person in front of you, but you're really playing yourself. And don't be the one who's 40, 50, 60, 70 by yourself, because you never realize that you're playing yourself. Which is why on the very first video, he was like, Steve Harvey was like, don't lose yourself. Don't forget about you. Don't forget about you. Don't forget about you. Working on attachments. Number 1, got to work on those attachments. I'm clingy. Oh, I'm like this. And those things are not bad, but they're bad in a sense, or unbalanced, if you haven't realized the positive to it. You have to neutralize those behaviors you have. They're fine. Like, I don't mind my woman being around me nonstop. I don't get tired of her because we have open and honest conversation about everything. Like, I don't hold shit back. I'm not no, I ain't gonna say this because I don't want to upset her. I don't even move like that. If it upsets you, then that's your problem. But we got to talk about this though. But my intention isn't to cause trauma, but my intention is to get better. But I know that not saying nothing about it is not going to get us there. Fighting over it's not going to get us there. So if we fight over it because I'm honest with you, especially if you tell me to lead you, I'm letting you know what it is. And once you see the results that we have that are favorable for you, and that's as a whole, then you know that I'm not speaking out of ego when I tell you about something, or when I'm telling you about what I'm noticing, or whatever the case is. So you really have to know what your play style is, with who you dealing with. Try to find some other ones that probably talk about that. Because I know when other people say it, it hits. Somebody could probably say it in another way, which I understand that. And shit, some people, man, they'll stay in a relationship just because they don't want to be alone, even though it causes them headaches and strife and whatever else. They'll just stay in it, which to each his own, I guess. That's what you want. Some people can't even leave relationships because they're in a financial bond or bind. Let's see what this is about.
Here's the other biggest mistake, if you want to jot it down, that happens in relationship. Most people go to an intimate relationship looking to get something, and they have a bunch of expectations. And if their expectations aren't met, they're upset. And the truth is, a relationship is a place you're supposed to go to give something. But we've been all raised in different ways, and some of us have been raised to think that someone is supposed to look after, love us every single moment a certain way, whatever that way is. But the truth is, relationships are the most beautiful place on earth because, as I said the other day, what happens the minute you experience something that is really enjoyable, really beautiful? What's the first thing most of us want to do? We want to share it with somebody we love. Why? Because jot this down. The purpose of a relationship is to magnify human emotion. The reason you want to share that experience is in sharing it becomes more in you. You can only experience so much joy, happiness, pleasure in yourself. But when you have someone that's a beloved for you and you share it, it goes to a different level. Here's the other biggest mistake, if you want to jot it down, that happens in a relationship. Most people go to an intimate relationship looking to get something, and they have a bunch of expectations.
All right, let's see if we can find something else. But yeah. And I think I'm gonna really hit on relationships because let's see what the ladies got to say. See what the ladies got to say. Female relationship advice. Let's see what come up. Oh, probably the same thing. Nothing different. All right, here we go. All right, let's see.
I had an older lady tell me, she's, I think, just past 40, and her husband, I think, is like in his late 30s, like so maybe like 41 and 39. They've been married for a while. I was talking with her about some problems we were having in our marriage, and she said, Joyce, what it sounds like to me is that your issue is that you are married to a real man, and a real man is not going to be ruled by a woman. And that hit me like a ton of bricks, and it immediately came to my mind when I was reading this excerpt. When she says, don't go down the path of expressing criticism, disapproval, and an ultimate lack of acceptance for your husband because it may cause rebellion, she's telling the truth. A real man is not going to allow himself to be a pushover to the woman he has chosen. I had an older lady tell me, she's I think just past 40, and her husband,
I'm gonna tell you this too, like, there's no way in hell I'm battling with all these different energies out here outside the home to then come home and deal with some, like some BS, man. Nah. Especially when you realize it's the women who are being attacked. The men can see through the shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the females can't see through it. They're caught up in the glitz and glamour of things and not really caught up in the real function, like the real functions, what's really functioning, what's behind the mask. You know? So yeah, 100%. Hell no, that's not. Mm-mm. But of course, your word means everything. So let's not get it twisted. Your word means everything. But this is why I also say too, you got to be honorable. See, when you go through your own, your own personal development, you have to be honorable with yourself. You know how people say if you ever play sports, if you're cheating yourself, you're only hurting you. It's no different from, I don't know, reading a book or whatever activity you're doing. If you're not giving it your all, you're only hurting you, because ultimately being lonely is like the resort or the result of cheating yourself or not accomplishing a goal. Or but if we're speaking about relationship wise, yeah, be by yourself if you think everything's somebody else's fault and that you don't have no level of influence. Everybody has influence. The movies you watch before you go to bed have an influence on how you're going to dream and how you're going to behave. Your subconscious is taking all of that in. You have to be intentional with everything. With everything.
A few days ago, I did a video on situationships and how girls should stop allowing themselves to get involved in a situationship relationship. In this video, I want to talk about the 3 signs that you're about to get into a situationship. Listen up, ladies. Sign number 1, he's not giving you any hints of commitment. What I mean by this is he doesn't want to put a label on anything. Everything's chill. He's not giving you like a straightforward answer. If you ask, which don't ask, he'll show you. But when it comes to your relationship status, you're kind of like, I really don't know what we are. Like, what are we type of vibe. If you're confused, you're not in a relationship and he's stringing along, I promise you. Or it's just too early to tell, which moves on to my second point. If you guys have been talking for more than a month and he hasn't made you his girlfriend, or he hasn't introduced you to his parents, or he hasn't done any of those steps, it doesn't have to be all of those things, but at least one of those things, most likely you're about to get into a situationship. Guys don't really take their time when it comes to things like that. They kind of want to like secure the bag as quick as possible. So if he's like leading you on and kind of stringing you along and he hasn't made any like relationship or like what are we moves. A few days ago, I did a video.
Bro, she tripping. She said a month. A month. The hell is you rushing for? A month? It wouldn't even take you a month to get through college. It don't even take you a month to get through a subject, depending on if you do self-study. Like, it damn near takes you a month just to fully convince yourself of whatever activity. Like to make to turn something into a habit is something like that. It takes you like what, 23 days? So if you're not seeing some level of progression and seriousness in that relationship, in her eyes, you're being strung along. A month? Go meet my parents? A month? And we're not talking about 30 days of just concentrated focus on each other. We're talking about you still got whatever activities you got going on. And I have what I got going on. But a month? Oh, Lord. All right, so we're going to find another video. I'm gonna cue it up now. I think I'm gonna just start doing it this way. Yeah, she tripping with that one. She said a month. A month. Like, nah. You ain't gonna put that label out there. A month.
As a female, this is a little game for you ladies. One, you just got to understand what men want. We don't want hoes. That's number one thing. Don't be promiscuous at all. Posting thirst traps, we'll hit it, but we're probably not going to wife you up. Other thing is, we want a girl to be submissive. If you don't want to follow our lead, it's going to be cool. We'll hit it. We'll be in a relationship for a couple years, maybe, if the poon good, but we're not going to elevate you to wifey level. As a female, this is a little game for you ladies. One, you just got to understand what men want. We don't want hoes. That's number one thing. Don't be promiscuous at all. Posting thirst traps,
so this
we'll
right
hit
here,
it,
the last
but
video. That's the last video. Nah, dude tripping. Like I see where he coming from with what he said. I see where he coming from. But he said it's game. And this is why you have to be careful with who you picking up information from, especially if you serious about initiating some type of move on whoever that you may be interested in, it's like you have to know that, in my opinion, life is a game. And within that game of life, there's so many other little pockets of games that you can play. And one of the biggest ones is called relationship. It's a big ass game. And if you're playing each other to see who can, who can get who to do what, to feel as if you're dominant, like how dudes say, hey, dudes want you to be submissive. Ladies, you gotta be submissive. And I heard a lot of ladies say things like, well, submissive to who and for what? Like, how are you going to elevate me? And most of the times when they do stuff like that, and I'm gonna be real with you, I call this like what can I call it? Like at the initial stages of when you meet a female, right? A lot of the times when she likes you, she is going to possibly do something different, especially if you are naturally different. You say something different from what she heard from other dudes. She's probably going to try something new with you that she's never done before. That is a major way of her being submissive, especially if she sucks at doing it. Now, I'm not going to be explicit in no way on here, but you know what I'm talking about. In whichever way, I don't care if it's she's paying for your dinner and she never did that before. That's submissive for her and it's new for her. And at those initial moments, at those moments is when you have to realize when she's outside of her comfort zone, trying something new, and how she's basically allowing you to now show her something different because she sacrificed and did something different. I hope that makes sense. So you have to capitalize. Like, for an example, I took my lady out and she paid for my dinner. I seen that. I said, oh, okay. And she's never done that before. Or maybe she has done that. But like, she ain't have to share her money. She ain't have to do that. She ain't have to do that. Buy me certain things. I said, hey, you should get this truck right here because boom, 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 I already have a car. She got the truck because I said get the truck. That was new for her. She put herself in a financial obligation because of my direction. And once I've seen that level of like, damn, so when it comes to your money, you did that because I said so. So I'm like, damn, like, all right, well, I'm not going to mislead you in no way. Like, I'm gonna be intentional with what I got going on because I see how you stepping. And I'm stepping correct as well. So it's not about playing each other. It's about, playing with each other, not playing against, but playing with. Because trust and believe, you're going to have those haters who are going to try to tear y'all down. And that's when y'all have to be strong, even through the arguments. You got to remember, what your core is, have a core. This is what we rock with. This is our foundation. That's another word for core, a synonym, foundation. Make sure you have a strong foundation before y'all really get going with anything. So when anything happens, just like in law, you can always refer back to the principles or the maxims. If you ever get caught up in all the details, just go back to the maxims, go back to the foundation y'all set, go back to the core that y'all set. And at that level, if that core has changed, if that foundation has shifted, it's done. But if it hasn't, y'all good. But yeah, that's about it. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, another video. I appreciate y'all listening, even if it's for like 30 seconds initially. I'm gonna be consistent because I see a lot of confusion in this world, and I hope that my perspective can lend some type of help to help alleviate some of the tension and confusion and, I guess, blockades between people in their relationships. So, I hope that can, I hope I can lend some help in that arena. Also in a financial arena, in a legal way, which I'm not giving legal advice though, but just speaking about principles and different things that do exist. And then it's for you to apply it because everybody's situation is different and unique. Everybody has their own signature. So That's really about it. Hey, once again, I thank you for showing up, and X out.